I am back with another very special episode of the Jaxxon Podcast. I'm sitting here with the most requested guest of all time in the history of the Jaxxon Podcast. You go in the Jaxxon Podcast Discord, they want to hear from this guy. I'm sitting here with the greatest co-host of all time, Rampage Jaxxon, the greatest co-host of all time, Luke Rockhold, and the one and only former UFC middleweight champion, Michael Bisping! Let it loose.
Nice to have you here, Bisping.
Yeah, thanks for finally coming.
Come on. Wouldn't miss it for the world. I feel like I'm walking into the fucking lion's den now. You guys are going to gang up on me. Rampage, I've got a lot of history.
We got a lot of history.
Me and Luke have a lot of history as well. I'm like,
you two guys fought,
I'm like, Luke's going to be there.
You two
like,
guys fought?
I didn't see the fight.
You two guys fought?
Honestly, I didn't see that fight.
You two guys fought? This is one of the craziest rivalries.
I didn't see it. Well, how many times did you guys fight?
Twice.
I didn't know.
You two guys fought?
How many times did you guys fight?
No, we sparred a lot.
How many times did it turn into a fight?
No, we never had problems.
You never turned it into a fight with me, but there was a few people that shit their pants. Remember Tyson Jeffries? He jumped over the.
Oh yeah,
he jumped over the ring and ran down the street.
Yeah, that was for Jon Jones camp, right?
Yeah, that's right.
He hit me with a spinning back fist. I thought it was a spinning back elbow.
Yeah,
and he cut my eye right before my fight.
Who? He did.
One of my sparring
Was
partners.
it Tyson Jeffries?
Yeah,
Tyson,
yeah, that's what it was.
What camp were you guys together for?
Say again?
What camp were you together for?
A lot of them.
Many. I first met Rampage 2007 when you were training for Dan Henderson. Big Bear 2007. Because of that camp, I live here, really.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, I would never have came out to California.
You guys trained the Wolf Slayer, though, right?
Yeah. I used to hate training out there. It was so cold, man.
Freezing. Walking on the mats, ice like toes.
Yeah, bro, it's the worst. They hated it when we turned on the heaters. The guys at the gym used to complain.
Would you bring him in for your camps at the Big Bear off the break?
No, we was on team. We became teammates. I liked it out there so much. I liked his team, so I joined the Wolf Slayer because of Bisping. I like training. I'm gonna tell you, Bisping was the hardest training fight I ever seen in my life. And I'm like, I need to train like that. Before him was Tito, and he trained twice as hard as Tito.
Wow. Well, we met at UFC Belfast.
Yeah.
Remember, you were at UFC Belfast. That was when Forrest Griffin fought. Who was it? One of your guys.
I can't remember.
What was his name? Not Joey Beltran.
Was it Joey Beltran?
Was it Joey Beltran?
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah. So I think you were there with him. We said hi. You were fighting on the same card in London, and you invited me out to training camp.
Yeah.
That's how we got to know each other.
Yeah.
What was the mentality and like the feeling when you first met Rampage and Big Bear?
No, dude, I was starstruck. Rampage, come on, are you serious? You're Rampage Jaxxon from Pride. And I see when I first got told about fighting, I didn't even know what MMA was. I didn't even know what UFC was, but I was told there's something called the UFC, and if you fight in it, you can make some pretty good money. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's give it a go. So I started watching everything. I started watching Pride. I'm like, I love this shit. And obviously I was a big fan of yours. So when I met you, I was super starstruck. And then you invited me out to Big Bear. I was like, what the fuck? I ain't missing this. See you guys, I'm off out to Big Bear for this next training camp. So that's kind of how it all came apart together.
How many camps did you guys do together?
I don't know. I didn't count. But
a good few years.
I remember him training in Big Bear, and we had to run. You remember Zach Light?
Oh yeah.
And him and Zach Light, they got very competitive. And Zach was always he was like the wrestling coach. He's a good runner. He's a smaller dude. He probably fights at 55.
Yeah.
And we had to run. It was slightly uphill in Big Bear, that thin altitude. Mm-hmm. And I was running. I'm okay at running. Zach come past me, and then Bisping comes past me, grunting. I'm looking at him like, God damn. He don't have like good perfect form, but
I'm a terrible athlete. I was never good at any sports ever, but I'm super competitive at everything. I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna beat Zach. And I don't know why. Just every day it was me and Zach. We never talked about it. We never said who's gonna win today or anything. It was like a weird silent competition. We'd be side by side, just not even mentioning it. And then
nobody beats Zach running.
Did you give him his own room in the house?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, he had his own.
Did.
Yeah, we heard about some stories. Were you ever a part of any camps with Czech Congo in Big Bear?
Yeah, Czech Congo was there.
Yeah, he talking about the pranks and stuff. We used to play on
I was in a different house. Thank God.
Thank God.
You heard about this? Huh?
No, I haven't. No,
most of those pranks was in England, and we were staying at our former manager's house. He didn't stay there. He lived in England. Most of those pranks.
Sorry, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but he got to
I never stayed there.
Those pranks, they wasn't in Big Bear. Because that's when we first started meeting Congo.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even speak English that much back then.
Wow. Did you guys spar a lot in the gym though when you guys were first coming up
together?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because I've heard some interesting stories about you in the gym, how you don't like anybody to get anything on you. So if you're sparring, you're taking it to the moon. Coach Parillo was telling us that you're like one of the hardest working guys he's ever seen in the gym. Just a straight grinder 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting ready for a fight,
yeah,
you know, it's my job. So it actually used to piss me off. Like back in England, I'd go there, I'd drive an hour and a half to the gym where we used to train, and people are fucking around. You know what I mean? So I've driven all this way. I want to work. I want to train. I want to get ready for this fight. I want to win. You know, you got to be in good shape. So, but yeah, no, it was never anything like personal with anybody. Yeah. It's like, I'm here to fucking work.
I never saw him have problems. Yeah. I don't, you know, my memory's not as good, but I never.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't remember him having problems with anybody in the gym, stuff like that. I just remember the trainers and stuff, you used to have to tell them, okay, chill out. You're doing too much.
Yeah, no, exactly. I always overtrain, but, you know.
Is overtraining a real thing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. And I mean, I don't need to tell these guys. Yeah. These both know, but overtraining whilst you're cutting weight, you know, so like you're not getting any calories in your body whatsoever, you know, so you're just losing muscle mass. So I used to start a training camp, and you know the feeling, Rampage. Start a training camp, big, strong, you know, Luke. You feel good, you're throwing people around, and by the end, I'm a skinny little sucked out thing, and I'm getting bullied around the ring. So if I could do it all over again, I'd do it very, very differently. But
really, what would you do differently?
Well, I wouldn't overtrain. Oh. I'd work with a nutritionist. I wouldn't be partying every fucking weekend when I wasn't fighting either.
Why were you overtraining and training so hard and stuff like that back then, though?
I think because I had a kickboxing fight, because I used to be a kickboxer, and I hadn't been at the gym in about 2 years. And because I started hanging out with this new group of friends and partying, I was trying to be a DJ back then. And the guy that was the promoter called me up out the blue, and he's like, "Are you in shape?" I said, yeah. He said, "Well, we got a British title fight. Someone dropped out. Do you want to step in?" And it was like a week's notice. And all my kickboxing fights, to be honest, it wasn't at a very high level. And I just smoked everyone. I said, "Yeah, sure." So my new girlfriend, who's now my wife, she came like 30, 40 guys from my hometown. I'm like, I'm going to whoop this guy's ass. Come on, you know, acting like the big shot. Went out there. It was an 8-round fight. The first 4 rounds, I tried to kill him. I didn't. And then I completely gassed. And for 4 rounds, he beat the shit out of me. I managed to win a decision somehow, but it was 4 rounds where I could hardly keep my hands up. I was absolutely exhausted. You guys know what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst feeling in the world. You know, you can't hide behind a team. It's just you and your opponent and a referee. And if you're out of breath, if you're tired, it's the loneliest place on the planet. So I think ever since then, I never wanted to feel like that ever again. So I always, trained hard. That
was always my biggest fear, going in there gas. Now, I see a lot of fans trying to, classify me as a fighter that runs out of gas, but I barely run out of gas in my fights. I don't remember a lot of.
No, you never ran out of gas.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I
don't know why the fans
weird because you hated training.
Yeah, I hated it, but I did it.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
he hated it.
He hated training.
Hated training. Hated running. Hated everything.
I mean, we all hated it at some point, you know.
I used to love it.
Yeah, I mean, you love it, and then
I started off.
There's a certain point where you hate it when you overtrain, and you get to that point where you just—it's like.
Wait, did you love it up until like you got the belt and then you started to hate it, or did you always love it?
I loved it. I love training. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, at what point?
I still do today.
Yeah, you look in great shape.
Best part of my day is going to the gym.
You're still training today actively.
Yeah.
Striking,
MMA
sparring.
and everything.
No. I mean, I had 3 neck surgeries in the last 2 months, so I've just, I was in the gym this morning lifting weights and whatnot. Still like to run most days. So I don't know. I enjoy it. It's the best part of my day.
Have you gotten stem cells yet?
I did about 2 weeks ago. So I'm still waiting for them to kick in.
Yeah.
But then I'm going down to Colombia in January.
A bioaccelerator?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best place to go.
I know. I'm excited for it. Yeah, because
Hey, you been drinking on the set?
Yeah, I'm a man.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, you want to stop.
The stem cells.
Yeah, no,
the stem cells are like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've had a lot of variations of stem cells, and I've seen them work at times, and then I've seen, you drink too much and you go out and have some fun. It's like the stem cells get diverted to the inflammation. So
that's what they said. They said don't drink.
And cheese.
They just said don't drink for the first 3 days.
Don't drink for a while.
They said to me 3 days.
Who said that?
That's it.
Burn out the stem cells.
No,
That's it. 3 days.
They said 3 days. But I don't drink. I don't wake up hungover.
Right.
I don't go out. I never go out.
What is your drink of choice?
I'll have a vodka tonic with lime. I'll have like 2 of those in the evening just to relax.
I would have never looked at you as a vodka tonic with lime.
I never get drunk I don't go out and get shit-faced.
We've gotten shit-faced before.
Oh, fucking right. And I've gotten shit-faced many a time, but these days I don't do that. I'll have a couple of drinks, but there ain't no inflammation in the morning.
No, but those guys told me about drinking it. I asked the owner, I said, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to not drink?
Yeah.
He said, oh, like a 3.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Well, let's
What
go.
is going on right now? How are you going to give nutrition and
but then
how
he
are you
no.
giving advice on bioaccelerator?
But then he said he followed with, I'm not one of the doctors. He followed up
okay.
with
Well,
saying
then
that.
who you asking? The guy that was
the
getting you the
owner,
girls?
The barman at the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, who you asking?
No, I asked the head honcho, Eric.
Wait, you guys used to go out and party together?
Well, yeah, we partied before
Yeah.
after the fights and stuff like that.
Where would you guys go party?
I don't.
I have no
remember.
idea. You know, there's that one picture online that's super embarrassing of me. It's me and you. I think it's after the Henderson fight, UFC 100. You can find it online. We've both got our shirts off.
You're Henderson.
We've got our shirts off. I've got your chains on. I'm like sucking my cheeks in and stuff. Oh God, that gets brought up now and again and sent my way. It's a funny picture though.
I gotta find that. I mean, there's a lot of history in this room, and we don't want to get into it right away. But I do want to know, because we have Jason Parillo here. He's one of our head coaches here at Jaxxon and Sonic Studio, Jaxxon Podcast. We're helping build out this gym for him. At what point in your career did you get linked up with Jason Parillo?
Yeah, so I moved out here because we were on the same team. They turned out to be an absolute bunch of utter scumbags, thieving, robbing, stealing.
You tried to warn me too.
I
he
did.
tried to fucking warn me. If I would listen to him,
I did.
Can we leave this in the podcast?
Are we
Yeah,
talking? Are we
yeah.
talking about like
Fuck
management?
you can leave it in
management?
the-
Are we talking about management coaching? Like,
Management,
manager,
coaching, everything.
so
Really?
everything on the
it was
back
the
end.
managers. It was the managers though.
Yeah, no, it was the managers. It wasn't the coaches. The coaches were
They
pretty good.
worked for them. They controlled
Yeah.
it. They was like the worst control freaks.
Yeah.
Well,
You might
Luke's
get
been
jabbed
calling
a
him
couple
out.
of times.
Yeah, and Bisping, Luke's been calling out Sean Strickland. How do you
really?
think Luke would do against him in the gym?
Sean's tricky, man. He's very
He's
good.
tricky. He's
Yeah.
tricky. I sparred him one time hungover. It wasn't.
No.
I sparred Bisping hungover too one time.
He did. He
Y'all
did.
sparred and fought.
Yeah.
Hey,
Y'all sparred before y'all fought.
That was Parillo's
I
fault.
came in. I was traveling down here and like I remember.
Oh, here
like,
we
they're
go
like,
with the excuses.
And they're like, and they're like, I want to get some
Hey,
work
I
in.
was drunk. I was hungover. I had nothing to eat. You know, I've been fucking all night. You know, what else you got?
I
It's like,
was.
motherfucker,
What else
you don't
you got?
come to sparring then.
Hey, I thought we were sparring. I thought we were sparring with big gloves on, and then the business like everyone's like, "Oh, we're doing fucking 4-ounce gloves." This motherfucker puts me in the cage for 3 rounds with 4-ounce gloves on. I'm like, "Oh,
MMA?
shit just got real." I was like, "God damn!"
No.
I thought I was coming in with like 16-ounce sparring, like regular session. It was like it was on.
And that's before you guys ever fought.
First time we ever met.
Well, see, and this is what, because it was kind of a dick thing for me to say. I was on some kind of show, and Luke was the Strikeforce champion at the time, and we'd sparred, and somehow this reporter knew about it, said, how did the sparring go? You know, and I'm a smart mouth, you know, so I'm like, well, you shouldn't really talk about sparring, but let's just say I'm the unofficial Strikeforce champion.
Hey, that was a secret.
Because it's a funny line.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny, and
It's a great line.
he got so worked up over it, and anyway.
Yeah, you gotta get worked up.
That's why I like Bisping. You know, he's entertaining outside the cage and stuff. So I don't know.
Oh, in the cage too.
Yeah.
And then the next time
what I said.
we fought like I was so pissed off about it. I was like, I'm gonna knock you out in the first round. You want to put $100,000 on it? I tried to get him to make a $100,000 bet. He looks at me and he's like, first round on. In the middle of the cage, I was like, I'm walking back to my corner. I'm like, this motherfucker.
Right after the first round.
Right after the first round, and I was like,
No, he's very competitive.
I was like, all right,
That's no lie. He's very competitive.
These guys are the most competitive people. I don't know Bisping personally like that, but this guy's the most competitive person I've ever met in my life. Doesn't matter where we
It
go,
makes
what
sense.
we do.
It makes sense because I remember at the fair, he was all happy when he was beating me at all the fair games. But as soon as I won one thing with the
really?
fucking squirt guns, he left.
He left.
It makes sense.
Bisping, he started crying. He beat us at every game. He beat us at every game at the fair. Rampage
I
beats him on
thought
one game.
Rampage would get me on the sledgehammer for sure. But
All right, is this what you were referring to, Bisping? You guys at the gym?
Oh, this was Ruka.
This is
Okay.
after the fact.
This was Ruka.
So what was this video?
This is in
just
cordial
us.
times. This is
Yeah,
cordial
yeah.
times.
This was after we'd fought a couple of times, and I went in one day. He was in the gym, and we just had a little,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
you know, just for old time's sake, have a little move around. Look at me, out of shape.
Luke, why are you wearing sneakers while you doing jiu-jitsu?
Because Luke likes to do that. He likes the advantage.
It's actually a disadvantage.
It is a disadvantage.
How's it a disadvantage?
Because you get ankle locked. What's wrong with you, man? It's
No,
grimace.
not on the mat.
Grimace. They doing jiu-jitsu.
Look at Bisping took it. You tried to go for it. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I almost got a fucking toe hold.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
I think
I
I
was
did.
being pretty nice.
So,
Bisping, have you ever submitted me in training?
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I honestly can't remember every time we rolled, but things like that, you know, I was like, I tapped out Rampage today. I'd remember that. Do you know what I mean? And I'd say, I don't know. I think I did.
You probably did.
I probably
I'm
did.
sure.
I think I got you in an armbar a couple of times.
You probably did.
got
Probably.
a pretty
I
good
don't
you can
know.
tell us. You
Hey,
can tell
Bisping,
us.
was I the only person
don't
to
know.
submit you in your career?
No, a welterweight did as well. So don't get all hard about it.
Oh,
Wait, Bisping, I gotta ask you straight up. Whose idea was it to have you guys always training together?
always. What are you
I
talking
mean,
about?
there's so many videos of you guys training together.
No. This was just after.
That was just
Yeah,
after you guys were done fighting.
I'd retired now.
Got it.
This was our first.
So Luke needed a real coach. So he took my leftovers. And then
Wait,
I'm
we
sorry.
gotta reverse
Blame
that.
this guy.
Wait,
Blame this guy.
Wait, we gotta reverse
You know,
that.
hey,
Wait, what are you talking about? Leftovers. We gotta reverse that. What are you talking about?
Grimace, don't start it.
Hold on, I just want to know what he means. I don't know what that means.
No. I'd retired. I'm joking. I'm just
Yeah,
being a
but
dick.
then who got the leftovers of what?
I was training with Jason here and there when I was.
He
in
was
town.
actually training with Jason before me.
Oh, okay.
And then I started training with Jason,
Jason, yeah.
and then it's just the way it works. You work with different coaches. I'd retired by then. Luke was working with him. I went down into the gym. We said hi, just for a bit of fun. I had a little roll.
You know what? I'd hate to fight Bisping these days because you get in a stare down and you really wouldn't know what the fuck he's thinking.
God, dude.
Hey, don't start that. Me and Bisping, we still brothers, man. Don't start that.
I don't need your help. I've
respect-
knocked him out once before. I can do it again.
Hold on.
Hey, same here.
Hold on. Before we
Wait,
even talk about that, let's just settle down over here, dude. You're getting a little
He's
crazy.
getting a little antsy. You should have felt the way he
because
grabbed
he
me.
still
there.
trains every day. 7 days a week, this
He's
guy
like,
trains.
Bro, relax.
Are you guys friends now? Is all is good?
Are you guys
We're
cool?
fine.
Well, are you guys 1-1?
We're 1-1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's all
So
good.
we're talking about. Let's just talk about it. Screw it. So you had a fight. You stepped in last minute,
I did.
and when you step in last minute, did you even have any sort of idea what was going to happen?
What do you mean?
Did you think you were going to win that fight, or were
Yeah,
you
of
just stepping
course.
in for the payday?
No, 100%. I stepped in to win the fight, of course.
Because I don't think he was nervous at all. It seems like Luke was he was untouchable.
Well, he should have been
Because
he got knocked the fuck out.
Hey, yeah, I was disrespectful to Bisping. I fucking smoked his ass the first time.
All right. So you want to hear the story? Seeing as you bring
And
this
so-
up. You bring this
Let's
up.
hear the
Look
story.
at this.
Let's hear the
Look,
story.
look,
One at a
look,
time.
Right?
Whoa!
I got one eye.
Oh my God!
Right? I got one. Bro, I knocked you out with one fucking eye before we even start.
Hey, how did it happen? When did that happen?
Vitor Belfort, juiced out of his mind, kicked me in the head, detached a retina, then it redetached, then I got glaucoma, just one thing after the other.
I hate to say it, but I kicked you in the head too before all that. I mean,
Well, I was already blind. I was already blind in one eye.
What? Before our fight? The first fight? The first fight?
Before that. So that's what I was going to say. For that first fight, Luke, remember, because when we squared up in Sydney, because Jay Silver, do you know Jay Silver?
Yeah, I
of
remember.
course.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know Jay.
Fuck yeah,
Fucking
fuck
Jay. Fucking Jay.
Fucking
Love
Jay
Jay.
Silver.
He's
I
awesome.
don't love Jay, but
Oh, really? Well, I had him down. I had him in a Kimura from side control, and rather than tap, boom, he knees me in the fucking head. As a day before I'm about to fly out to Australia, opens a big, huge cut right
we
over
go.
my eye, right? So we're in Sydney and we square up. He's like, oh, look at that cut. Look at that cut.
Who said that?
Luke, he knows he did, right? So we're in the fight.
sounds like you,
We're
Luke.
in the fight. And
I did not.
He fucking headbutts me, right?
I-
The cut opens up.
Wait,
so
who's making
blood's
excuses here?
pouring into my eye, the only eye that I have, right? And when you watch it, I'm wiping my eye every few seconds because I can't see shit. And then, at some point, you kick me in the fucking head. Good for you. And then I came back without the cut and knocked you the fuck out. Do you know what I mean? I took your belt.
Hey,
Oh! Yeah,
hey, I came up, bitch slapped him here, knocked him out here, woke him back up, and choked him out. I was like, hey, talk about it.
Is it true though? Is it
It's
true
okay.
that you told everybody
I
before
got
the
one.
fight that you were going to win by a head kick?
I just said I was gonna. I claimed I was gonna knock him out in the first round, and then
Yeah.
that's why after the first round,
Yeah, so those
okay.
want
He
to
was
talk
like,
about that. So that's what it was.
But
You
I
were
got him in a
claiming
second.
you were going to win in the first round.
I want to know, how do you pass the eye exam?
I didn't. I did, but it was. I can't go into that.
No,
But it
okay,
was.
yeah.
It was. I just lied my ass off in every test. But like I even had like a little stupid code. Like me and Parillo, we would say because I would pass tests somehow. But then even on site at the commission at the day of the weigh-ins, they want to check your vision, And I was always terrified that they were going to say right because I didn't have this then. This is only like a few years ago.
Did that hurt to pull that out?
Nah. So I didn't have this, but my eye looked terrible. It looks even worse now. It looked a little bit better back then, but you could clearly see when you looked at the eye that it wasn't healthy. And the doctors, I would think, all they got to do is cover that eye and say, how many fingers? And then I'm fucked. So every training camp, the fight was the easy part because I was always terrified. I'm spending all this money on a training camp. I'm putting all this effort into it. I'm going to fly off to wherever it is. And then day before the fight, I'm going to get pulled from the fight. So the stress was so, it was major. And then when I would get past the weigh-ins, I was like, oh my God, relief. Now I know I can fight. Now I'm good. Now I'm happy. Now all I've got to do is actually go out and fight. I don't really give a fuck about the fight.
That got to be a tremendous amount of stress.
The stress was insane.
Yeah,
insane. So anyway, me and Parillo had a thing. I said, right, well, if he covers up the eye, go for one finger, for two or whatever. We did that a couple of times. And to be honest, they never even did it. They just went, can you see out of that eye? And I'm like, yeah. And they go, okay. I'm like, yeah. 2020 here, brother.
Wait, so you had code words with Jason Parillo, your head coach?
Yeah, we did it a couple of times. And then we just gave up because...
Incredible, dude.
Yeah.
That's smart, man.
Incredible. What a dog. This is why the MMA community loves you, though. This is why everybody has so much respect for you, because this guy could potentially have lost both eyes to do what he loves, because ain't nobody doing that for money at that point. He did it because he loves fighting.
I don't know. I was doing it for money. That's the only reason I was doing it.
Even to make the money.
Well.
Yeah, you did it because you still were down to fight, though. You put on a show for the fans. It's incredible.
I would have to retire. If I lost one of my eyes, I'm like, fuck it. I probably wouldn't.
Well, that's why I retired, because I almost lost my second one.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was after a fight. I was in China, Shanghai. And then we went to the after party, and I know the symptoms of a detached retina.
Yeah, what is
obviously.
that? What is that like? Like how?
It started off. I'd be in restaurants are dark. I'd be in a restaurant, and I'd be like, I couldn't see my hand there, and Damien, a buddy of ours, would be like, oh look, he's doing that thing again with his fingers,
Yeah.
And then eventually, it got to the point where I was here. So then I Googled it, and then I called up a doctor. I said, I think I got a detached retina. They said, why do you say that? I said, well, because when I wiggle my fingers in front of my face, I can't see them. They went, yeah, you might want to come in right now. So then I went in, they went, yeah, you got a detached retina. So we've got to operate on it straight away.
Why wiggle? Why not like?
Well, I don't know. I was just like,
like,
can you see that? Can you see that? You know? Yeah. So yeah, anyway, so we're in China, and then we're in this fucking big, huge nightclub. There was like a big shark in a fish tank. And I look to the left, and I look back, and I get like a flash of light in my eye. And I look left again, I look right, and it just kept doing it. I'm like, oh my God, I don't believe this. Because the doctor always said to me, this one doctor, I lied on the test. I memorized the eye chart, you know what I mean? He went out the room. It was like an old school thing that he could spin round. It was like a triangle. And A, C, D, B, F, the letters. All you had to do to pass was the top letter and the two letters below it. So that's 2200 vision, which is still classed as legally blind. But as long as you could get those three letters, you could pass the test. So he went out the room. So I was like, okay, C, D, E, turned it round, remembered them all. The guy came in, covers up my bad eye first, asked me, C, D, E, whatever they were. And then he doesn't move it, and then covers up my good eye, and he's like, read out what you can see. So I'm like, C, D, E, ooh, it's getting a bit hard now. Anyway, so then he says, right, you've passed. He said, but I wouldn't fight, Michael, because if anything happens to your good eye, you're going to be blind. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a good point, Doc. I'll think about it. I'll really consider it. Anyway, I walked out. I'm like, fucking let's go, because it meant I was back. So anyway, I'm in China, and then my eye starts giving it all this shit, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't believe it. He warned me, and I was so pig-headed and arrogant. I'll be fine, because I always thought lightning ain't going to strike twice. How many fighters lose an eye? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I never.
It ain't going to happen twice, So anyway, I was in China, and I had all these problems, and turned out it was okay in the end, but... That was it.
What's your vision now? What you got in the good eye?
Enough to see your ugly face.
Oh my God.
I remember after my fight with Karate Combat, you sounded like you were ready to go again. I was like, hey,
Nah.
give me that. Hey, I was like, oh really? I was
No,
like,
you
I was talking to Jason.
You
I
put
was
it
like,
out there, Luke, that it was me, Shogun, Anderson, and me.
no, you said something. You said
Yeah,
something.
he said
he did say
that.
something.
I'm
Wait.
like, what the fuck? I've heard of this.
You said something on your podcast like, I'd fucking do it. And that went viral enough for me. I was like, all right, Bisping, Machida.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Well, you said something real fast, and you went right over it. You said that it was from Vitor,
Yeah.
and I know that's a known thing, but is it really because Vitor, or was it already damaged going into the fight?
No, it wasn't, because you get your eyes tested.
Okay.
So yeah, no, he kicked me in the head. He was juiced out to the max. I mean, you could take one look at the guy.
Kicked me in the head too.
Yeah, no, it was at that same time. It was me,
Him, Dan
you,
Henderson,
Rich Franklin,
AJ.
Dan Henderson, AJ.
Anthony Johnson.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Johnson was the start of it.
He went on this crazy run.
Anthony Johnson,
All the fights were in Brazil. He was like bloody King Kong. He looked
They
jacked.
didn't test in Brazil.
I don't know, but I didn't care.
Could have been.
You know what you know how it is, right?
Yeah,
man?
you care when you get down there and you start facing, you start feeling like this fucking energy of this guy is just juiced out of his gills. You're like, these motherfuckers make me come down here and fight him like this. And
Yeah,
you cannot feel good about that.
I did it because we were on the scale, and I should have known looking back, because I don't have like the best physique and never have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Mr. Fucking Model. You know, I don't look like a bodybuilder. Vitor walks over looking like fucking Mr. Universe. Do you know what I mean? And unlike you, I'm not a little bitch. So I didn't care. I just said, he came in my face. I said, Vitor, come here. I'm joking, Luke. Don't set me up like that, though, buddy. He comes over. He says, come here. He says, what? I says, Jesus isn't real. You know, it's just to fuck with it.
You said that? No,
I remember that.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You did. I remember that.
Of course.
Oh no, you can't say stuff like that before
You
fight.
can't say that to Vitor.
No, not to Vitor.
Well, of course, that's the perfect
Vitor?
person to say it to.
To Vitor.
But Vitor?
You can't say that to Vitor.
What did he say? What did he say when you said that to him?
I don't think he understood me.
No, he speaks English.
No, he understood that.
Yeah.
But maybe he was just a good diet and nutrition, and the guy was training.
Vitor!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Good diet, nutrition, creatine,
Maybe.
ice baths.
I mean, did we? What? I'm just saying. Why we don't got to bag on Vitor? He's a legend too, right? Maybe it was good diet. I don't know.
He just keeping it real, right? The guy lost an eye, man. Have some compassion.
I do.
It's all right. Listen.
He never got a real championship, though.
I don't really have. I have no ill will towards Vitor.
Yeah.
I wish him all the best.
You ever see him at fights?
Anyone that no, never. Anyone that I stepped in there with, it's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
I wish him the best. Listen, you know, we all knew what we were doing. We're all fighting. We're grown men. We know what we signed up to.
Yeah.
There's no ill will. I'm happy.
I want to change the pace. I want to ask you about commentating, man. You won the best.
Well, thank you very much.
Did you have to go to
Appreciate it,
school for that or some shit?
No, but I started off, you know, when the UFC signed with Fox in 2012, they started having some of the fighters doing the pre-fight show and the post-fight show. And I would sit at home and see like the other fighters doing it and talk so much shit, but like, oh, these guys are terrible. I don't know why they don't have me.
Honestly, some of my favorite times watching him and Dominic Cruz just bicker on the
Oh
set.
God, Cruz he's a little bastard. Anyway, but so then eventually I got my shot to do it, but it's a lot different when you're sitting in a big studio and there's directors and all the rest of it, and they're like talk and you're like So I didn't know how hard it was, but I did that for about 7 years. So you slowly but surely, you know, because at first they couldn't understand the word I said, you know. So like if I'm talking here, then when I'm commentating or whatever, I kind of change my voice a little bit. I overpronounce my words and stuff. That's why a lot of English people give me shit for having an American accent. Like, I don't have an American accent, but people need to understand me.
Do your kids got American accent yet?
Yeah, they do. Lucas full on, Callum and Ellie, my older two, depending on who they're with. Like if they're speaking to us, English. If they're with their friends, American.
Were they all born in the U.S.?
No, all in England.
All in England. But do you live in the U.S. full time now?
Yeah, been here for 13 years.
Wow. Hey, I still remember the funny joke you told me about when Colin first came here. He was ordering at the restaurant.
Oh, come on, which one?
And
yeah.
the
fucking knife.
You want to tell Bear that?
Yeah, no. He's only a kid, and you know you need a knife and fork, you know. And he would say, And with his accent, he says, "Excuse me, can I get a fucking knife? Can I get a fucking knife?" And I'm like, "Son, you got to stop saying that because it sounds like saying, can I get a fucking knife? Like, can I get a fucking knife?" I was like, "Knife and fork."
That's incredible.
Never change that.
One thing I wanted to ask you is you're so legendary now for commentating and being an amazing analyst. I would say you're probably the best in the game right now. And the way you talk about fighting, your podcast, everything you do in media, you did a beautiful transition. Amazing career. You win a belt. No pun intended. And then you go on and, you have more success after fighting. And a lot of fighters, Luke, Rampage, TJ, a lot of guys are here on the Jaxxon podcast doing the same now. Yeah. He's still competing. Rampage is going to be boxing soon. But it seems like you were able to hang up that chapter and start the next one seamlessly. But you made a career out of talking at the loudest levels to some people and really pissing people off. And I feel like people loved it about you, right? Love or hate it, you made fighting amazing.
They didn't initially, but go on, sorry.
Yeah, no. And then I know that you had that initial wave, maybe didn't like it, and then it turned, right? And then people love that because you put on a good show. Who did you have the hardest time trying to piss off?
Oh, God, I have no idea. George St. Pierre was pretty unfazable, to be honest. But in going back to what you just said there, is because of my eye, I was very lucky because as fighters, you just focused on fighting. You know what I mean? And you don't look past that. You think, I'm good. This is going to last forever. Because fighting, you've got to be all in. But with my eye, I always knew I was on borrowed time. Every single fight I had, they could discover it just by saying, how many fingers? You know what I mean? So I was trying to do everything I could. That's why I started doing the podcast. That's why I started doing all the work on Fox. That's why I started trying to do more acting work, and which is hard to come by. But you know what I mean? Started diversifying into as many different areas. Because I thought, I'm done. Pretty much every fight could be my next last fight. I managed to keep going for about another 5 years or so. What was it? Yeah, about 5 years. But yeah, so it was a blessing in disguise in some way.
What was the biggest movie you was in? 'Cause I saw you in what? Were you in Fast and the?
No, Triple X.
Yeah, Triple X.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
That just came out of the blue. Yeah.
Yeah, you should do more acting, man. You're a great actor.
Yeah, no, I've got a couple of things coming out. Got Den of Thieves 2. That's coming out soon.
I like that one. I like
it was
the
good.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, blinking, you missed me, but still, I'm in it. Yeah. Red Sonja. Got a good part in that. Yeah, it's going all right.
That's good, man.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. Like my wife says, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, because it's challenging." You know what I mean? I still don't call myself an actor. I did this film, Red Sonja, 2 years ago, and this actor was like, because I said, "Don't call me an actor." He said, "What do you mean you're an actor?" I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm a fighter that does a bit of acting." He said, "You're a fucking actor. What are you talking about?" I said, "No, I'm not. Don't call me an actor." And Parillo always talks shit because if you go on Wikipedia, the first thing it says, Michael Bisping, actor, former fighter.
Only Parillo would call that one out. Parillo keeps it real 24/7.
Oh, of course he does.
How was Den of Thieves working with 50 Cent, Ice Cube's son? Did you get a chance to interact with them a lot?
Yeah, well, we just did Den of Thieves 2 last year. No, I didn't work with 50 Cent, didn't do any scenes with him. Hung out with Jared Butler a little bit. He's a great guy.
He's a great
nice
guy, yeah.
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
And then O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son.
Yeah.
Is he
awesome
cool?
guy. Cool as hell. Cool as hell, yeah. Big UFC fan as well.
Oh, for real?
Big UFC fan, big wrestling fan. Yeah, nice guy.
Hey, why do you commentate sometimes and Joe Rogan don't commentate? Is it when you go overseas?
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to travel anymore. So he
Judges his big shows,
He only does the bigger.
He only does pay-per-views.
Okay.
And then if it's like in Australia, I'll be doing that one because But then they mix it up between me, Cruz, and Felder because we all want to do the pay-per-views because they're the big ones, But they've got their team set. They've got Joe Rogan, John Anik, and DC. You know what I mean? If one of those can't make it, then they kick it down to the B team.
You like kicking it with commentating with DC?
Oh yeah, no, DC's great. He's awesome. Yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, Daniel. Come on.
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah, no.
So no, when you're like competing on a conversation level.
Oh yeah, no.
He likes the bullshit.
He likes to just talk over you.
For real?
Oh yeah,
I can
I'll
only
be
imagine.
mid-conversation and he'll just go, and he'll just take over. But he's the man.
You think Joe Rogan going to retire soon? Or?
I don't think so. Why would you?
Yeah.
I mean he loves it.
But he just don't like to travel.
The travel's a pain in the ass. Like I was just in, where was I? Tampa. Week before that I was in Macau, China. Week before that, New York, Vegas, every week. You know what I mean? So it's a pain in the ass. The travel is, it's a nightmare. Calling the fights is awesome. Do you know what I mean? Being a part of the show and still being involved, going in and speaking to the fighters, the new generation of talent and stuff. I love that. you know. But the travel's a pain in the ass. But for Joe, you know, that he's not going international once a month. I bet he's still doing it when he's 75.
Yeah, you can commentate for.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any of the UFC commentating?
No, I haven't done any UFC commentator. I'm a shit commentator because when I look at the fights, I can't tell if they throwing on the left hand or right. Like, I can't tell. I see one guy southpaw. I'm like, which one of them motherfuckers southpaw? Oh. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. I can't tell because I'm a little bit. I'm slightly dyslexic. Y'all never noticed that.
That's when you like read numbers backwards.
I can be reading and I can see words at the bottom of the page before I get to it. And I'm just a little bit.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
He's Rain Man.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucked up.
Well, no, you're a smart guy. It's okay to be different, brother. Right here.
Fuck off, Grimace. Fuck off, Grimace.
Stop calling me a happy man.
Hey, shut the fuck up. You look like Grimace right now.
And you match head to toe, and I never say nothing about you. We got a legend in the house.
Hey, if I had anything blue on, I'd be fucking Blue Chew today. Thank you, Grimace.
Mike,
from McDonald's.
You brought up GSP.
Yeah.
After 19 days, that title fight with GSP, you were back in the cage with Kevin.
Yeah.
How was that? Why? How did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
stubbornness, just like
no. I knew I was done because I remember when we fought again. And Luke,
You're on borrowed time. No.
I've got tremendous respect for you, Luke. I really do, and I'm glad we shared the octagon a couple of times. And all jokes aside, honestly, you're a fucking legend, and that's why it pisses me off, like how some people, like how they dismiss your fucking ability. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Luke's the fucking man, and he will smoke fucking 99% of the middleweights. No, but it's true. Like, you know, no, it's true, though, Luke. And I have tremendous respect. Sorry, what was the question? So anyway,
I appreciate it. Back
Luke's
to
like, keep going about me.
No.
Hey.
But when we fought, my wife said, okay. She said, so that's it. You got your title fight. You're going to retire now, aren't you? I said, babe, if I win, I'm the champion of the world. I said, if I get beat, I'll retire. If I win, I said, I ain't fucking retiring now. You know what I mean? And I defended the belt one time. I lost. I defended the belt, fought George. It was a great fight. I lost, and I was retired. I was done.
Did you get the call, or did you put your name in the hat?
Yeah, well, it was 3 days later. I got absolutely hammered in New York for a couple of days. Flew home. Sirius XM, they had like an MMA show. I'm in the car with my wife and my in-laws. We're driving out for lunch. I'm still hungover. It comes on the MMA show. Anderson Silva, the main event in China, Shanghai, has tested positive for steroids. They're looking for a replacement to go out in like a week's notice. And I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to call Dana. He said, you can't do that. I said, yeah, no, I'm going to do it. They went, no, don't do that. I called Dana. He said, are you serious? And the reason being, the question was, why did I do that? It was fucking free payday. Do you know what I mean? I thought I could do it. Of course I did. Arrogantly thought I could do it. I didn't have to do a training camp. One more payday for the fucking road.
Were you training at all though?
No. Well, I just fought.
He just fought.
I just got choked out.
But you got clipped a little bit too, and that's like going into that next fight.
No,
like,
I should never. Have
you got clipped a bit. You got clipped a bit going. So it's just like going in. I was like, this is probably not the best.
No,
situation. I was looking at it from
in
afar,
hindsight,
because I was very on the division at the time.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to come back and get the title back.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. In hindsight, it should never have been there. At the time, you're thinking about the money, you're thinking about retirement, you're thinking about your family, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was still, it's an amazing feat, though, to come back and fight. I feel like a lot of people, your name is still such a big draw, right? So I feel like a lot of people were still excited. So Dana, of course, is going to give you the fight no matter what, whether it's probably good or not for you, like what Luke's saying. But Luke, at the same time, you were still competing heavily in the division.
Yeah.
Did you ever hit up Dana to try to get like a third fight with Bisping?
I mean, I was trying to.
This guy is a shit star.
I told you.
The only reason why is we've heard about this. He was already retired at the time.
I was trying, and I was criticizing everything at the time. I was trying to get fights.
He was very vocal about you, Mike.
Yeah,
when
well,
you
of course he was.
Very vocal.
Of course.
Hey,
that's what you're supposed to do when you're trying to get the belt back.
Like you're supposed to do, yeah, of course.
I like that.
I beat him, and he was very vocal. He thought he dismissed it as we all should, at times. But yeah, I was trying to fight. I remember George St. Pierre. Even after that fight, I was publicly like kind of coming at George because he was just sitting there, and I knew he wouldn't fight Yoel. I knew he wouldn't fight Robert Whittaker. I knew he wouldn't fight. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And so he basically, I think George, like, he called DC. He's like, tell Luke I'm leaving the title. He's like, he gets it. So then I got the fight with Robert Whittaker, and I was supposed to fight Robert, and then Robert got injured and I had to fight Yoel.
So are you saying that GSP, he ducked a few opponents?
No, I'm just saying that George came in.
No.
He saw an opportunity.
He said no.
No, George.
He's
saw
a
an
smart guy.
opportunity.
He had no intention.
He had no intention of coming back and really fighting. And it was just like, let go of the belt and let us do our thing.
And I trained with George years ago, and I couldn't grapple to save my life. So that's why he was like, "Oh, Bisping's the champ. I'll come back for that one. This motherfucker limey ass can't wrestle." And he's right.
I have a question.
I picked you in that fight though. You had him, and then you just
got clipped. Do you know? I tore my ribs.
Shot.
No, I tore my ribs.
The muscle between your ribs?
The cartilage,
Yeah, I've done that before.
I tore it the final training session. I was with Parillo. We were in the Rookie gym just down the street. I got taken. We did 3 rounds. I said, screw it, let's do one more round. This wrestler took me down. I was looking great in camp, whatever. He takes me down, lands on me. I just felt it straight away. The pain was ridiculous. Went to your doctor, all your cartilage is tore.
None you can do for it
said,
either.
You ain't fighting. Simple as that.
So if he grabs your arm, it's just like this.
Well, no, it's just nothing you can do for.
No,
you can't wear a cast. You can't
you
do
just
shit.
gotta wait.
Yeah, you just gotta wait.
So I said, no, I'm fighting. This is like by far the biggest payday of my career, and it was a very, very good payday. I thought I need to have this fight. So I saw a doctor and he said, well, what you can do is you can inject yourself with lidocaine and that will numb it, but it only lasts about 45 minutes. He said, but when you inject yourself with lidocaine, you can puncture your lung and die, right? So he says, right, here's the lidocaine, here's the needle. And the plan was when I got to New York, I was going to FaceTime him in the arena, Madison Square Garden, and he was going to talk me through it to inject myself with lidocaine. Anyway, I get there, I speak to a doctor off the record to see if this was a banned substance. He says, no, it's not a banned substance, so you're not like cheating in that regard. But if you tell the commission that you want to do this, they'll know about the injury and they'll pull you from the fight. So he said, so your call what you want to do. So anyway, it came to the night, we're in the locker room, and there's all the commission everywhere. And I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? Like sneaking the lidocaine and the needle out the bag, tiptoe off to the bathroom, and I pulled it out and I was standing. I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck this. And then went out there and...
You didn't take it?
No, I didn't take it. Nah.
Bro, I've had that injury before. I don't know how you fought with that.
Yeah, well, I looked like shit. Everyone was like, you didn't look yourself. I'm like, no, I know I didn't. But I started doing okay once the adrenaline kicked in and stuff like that. The first round, whatever. But George is a legend, man.
I've had to do that before. I had to take lidocaine before one of my fights in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't have
commission.
Yeah, we didn't have commission.
Yeah.
So
In Pride.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked. You got to take it right before. I think it was. I had to put it in my ankle, which hurt.
Right.
My ankle was fucked.
Yeah.
If I can remember, I had to take that shit before it.
Mike, one thing I want to ask you: when you fought your title defense against Dan Henderson, it was a big fight. But then you fought on one of the biggest pay-per-views shortly after that against GSP that we were talking about, and it's one of the biggest pay-per-views in UFC history. How much more money did you make on that fight than you did on a title defense fight?
A lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, Rampage knows how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but do they come to you and they give you a contract and they say, hey, this is what we want to give you?
No, it's on some pay-per-view buys.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So
In the era of pay-per-views, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever get any bonuses from Lorenzo on the back?
Yeah.
I got some nice.
No.
What is that?
Some nice 7-figure bonuses.
Oh, Rampage knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I only got
Back in the day.
I only
You got a $1
one.
million bonus when you knocked out Chuck, right?
No. He only gave me one bonus, and because I said something about it, and Dana never gave me a bonus again. A couple fights in, I was like, Dana, why you never give me more bonus? Because I talked about it. He was like, yep.
Did you get a
Yeah.
million?
Fuck. He only gave me one bonus when I
got a
knocked out
million.
Chuck. My bonus for that fight was more than my purse.
Yeah, no, same here. I mean, because I came
Yeah.
off the Ultimate Fighter, so and I was happy with the contract back then. I was coming from working in factories in the north of England, and then after every fight, back then it was an envelope with a check in. These days it's all wires and stuff. Yeah. But like just backstage. I'm like, what's this? I go, what the fuck? And then every fight, I was like, holy shit. Fuck. But then it wasn't every fight. You know what I mean? Like
I was talking Dana up because I was an outsider from Pride coming to the UFC, and that was like my second fight there, and he gave me a bonus. So I thought I was doing like good, talking like, oh, Dana's cool.
Sure.
Dana's cool. He gave me a bonus. And so he never told me I wasn't supposed to talk about it. He just told me not to give it to my manager. He couldn't stand my manager at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he give you a bonus? I remember that video that just popped up. He came back, you getting stitched up after Jon Jones. And he's like, you did great. You did great.
Yeah, he didn't give me no
Hey,
bonus
he just
that
sat there
time.
with you the whole time, like.
He sat there for a minute while I was getting stitched up. I was trying to get another fight in Japan or some shit, if I can remember.
Hey, I remember you talking about
Yeah,
that.
but he stayed for a minute, but then
Hey, bro, hey, Dana, can I get a bonus?
that was when me and Dana was cool. I remember it was a time when Dana and I was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be real cool. I think we fell out when I did that movie, and I was supposed to fight Rashad in my hometown.
Okay.
I think that's when we really fell out. But that time when he gave me that bonus after the Chuck fight, that was before he knew about my pay-per-view deal. I guess he didn't know because remember they brought my contract from WFA. They brought the whole show. I had the sickest contract deal in the UFC history. I guarantee you.
You did. I heard.
Yeah,
I heard.
It was big.
It was big.
I know your
And
Chuck
then
Liddell
after-
fight was $9 million. They paid you. I don't want to put out your business.
why you just put out my business?
Well, I mean, you got paid a lot of money.
It wasn't
pretty
it
good.
it wasn't $9 million.
It was like $9 million.
It wasn't
when you
$9
beat
million.
Chuck.
It wasn't.
We don't have to say it. How
Why
much
you-
was it?
why you-
We'll delete it.
Man, my family be watching this shit.
All right, 7.
It was 7.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
it was
9.
good.
Still pretty good.
was still really
I
good.
never made 7, so that's
That
great.
was it was over the time. The checks they came in for years.
Yeah, they do.
The
It's
pay-per-views.
awesome.
Mike,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. When it comes to revenge, what was better, the Henderson or the Luke fight?
Do you know what? To be honest, I don't really concern myself with Luke. Couldn't care less. It's all history. It all happened. Anything that happened in my career, whether I won or lost, it's all a part of history. It's all part of my path. It's all part of the journey to make me the man that I am today. So
Well, you're a better
I'm not
man than me.
sensitive
I get
about
upset.
any of it.
You're better.
Like people on Twitter all the time, bring up Henderson. I'm like, bro, you really think that upsets
what are they
me?
tweeting
What
at
the
you?
fuck have
You
you
beat
done
him.
with your life?
What could they possibly tweet
But
at you?
I didn't beat him the first time.
I know that. But as a fighter, I'm not a fighter. As a fighter, once you get that revenge win or that secondary win, shouldn't it wash it? Now an audience shouldn't be able to talk so loud, right?
People still talk shit.
It was a close fight. It was a close fight, and Hendo did get him with that in the second fight pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, he
It
hit me with
must be
2
a fuck-
punches. Then there were 2
fighting,
good right
fighting,
hands.
fighting
Other
Dan,
than that,
like,
I
you
whooped
just
his
know,
fucking
yeah,
ass.
you did. But one fucking thing's coming at Henderson. Like just the whole time, you just gotta sit there and just like.
Henderson does punch hard. He's a hard ass. He
Yeah.
is. He's a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I trained with him many a times, and I fought him. He is tough. He's one of my toughest fights today.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no, you
man.
guys had a good fight, UFC 75.
Yeah, it was in London, huh?
Yeah,
You fought on the same.
I fought Matt Hamill.
Yeah.
I got my ass whooped.
Oh, you didn't win that one?
No, I
You
did.
know.
I won it.
Yeah.
I won it. That's when I turned
That's what I
everyone
thought. We
against
all won.
me.
Me, you, and Congo.
Yeah. No,
We-
and that was the training camp that we did in Big Bear.
Yeah.
You guys all won on the same card.
Yeah.
I don't
Me,
think
him,
you won
Congo.
that fight, Bismarck.
I mean, I only just won it. I won on the judges.
I don't think you won that fight.
No, I know.
No
Me
offense, but
neither.
I watched that fight.
Yeah.
Why you taking digs at my
I
brother?
know. I'm just trying to do it. Hey,
Luke.
like you said, we call a spade a spade. But hey.
Well,
Bisping beat me though.
The reason
He
why I
got-
say
he got
this,
his-
Mike, is I'm always with Jason Parillo, your former head coach, and he talks nothing about how high of a work ethic you have. He always talks about how you were always trying to go back out there. You're always trying to get another fight, another win, training hard, that you were the last guy to leave the gym, first guy to be in the gym, that you gave it everything, every training session. He literally said it on a podcast, if you go watch a clip, that one of the hardest working guys he's ever worked with, and then he honestly says the same thing about Luke. And what I'm saying is this guy, Jason Parillo, has worked with some of the best in the world. BJ Penn,
Yep.
Chito Vera, Luke, yourself. So the only reason I do ask this is not to spark up Luke, because Luke's been very well behaved today. It's just because a lot of the audience has probably never seen you guys on a podcast. So to feel that inside look and to come back and win a belt after you lose to someone, it's got to be the most fulfilling thing
of
ever
course.
in mixed martial arts.
Well, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
With all due respect.
No. When you grow up, like most fighters, maybe it's a little bit different these days in this modern generation as the sports got bigger. But back in my day, back in your day, and Luke's, I don't know, they were fucking real fighters. And you know, I knew I could fight in the UFC because I was the toughest motherfucker around where I lived, and that was my only badge of honor. Didn't come from a family with money. You know what I mean? But I could win a fight against anyone. And then I heard about something called UFC. I didn't even wrestle. I didn't do anything. I'm like, fuck it, sign me up, put me in. So then to eventually, finally get recognized by the greatest fight promotion that's ever existed on planet Earth and be the champion, of course, it's a lifelong dream, and it's like the ultimate recognition, for this weird skill, and looking back now as a 45-year-old man, it's a crazy thing to, put your whole entire, identity on. Oh, I'm a tough guy. I can beat this person in a fight, you know, but it served me well.
It's the most raw thing in the world. It's something beautiful about being able to walk in a room and know that you can handle your business.
Yeah. I don't know about this room. We're all fucked.
Oh my God. You see? Like everything was going good.
Yeah,
You see, it's not me.
yeah, he took it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
You took it a little bit too far right there.
Yeah, and that's why we're
It's
in
okay.
this situation.
I had one eye in both fights.
Oh my! Look, this is a question for you. If you were the champion, do you think GSP would still want to come up to 185? Do you think he would still have wanted to fight you?
I don't think I'm a great matchup for GSP because I can wrestle. I can play a long game. I don't think it's a good at. But you know, GSP's a legend. It's different.
Is Bisping, is GSP the best fighter of all time, or is it Jon Jones?
Oh, shit.
Jon Jones.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. George St. Pierre, Jon Jones, Anderson Silva, BJ Penn doesn't get mentioned, but he should do. You know what I mean? It's Jon Jones is definitely one of them, though.
Here we go. We got a special
Jon
guest,
Jones is
Anderson Silva, for
definitely up
sure.
there.
We got a very special guest. One thing I want to know about training in the gym, Parillo. That's why we brought you in here. We want to know. Talk to me a little bit about Mike Bisping in the gym and kind of some of your sessions you guys had together. I know you have a lot of good stories that you always tell us at dinner, but to have you guys here together to talk about it's even better.
Yeah, we spent years together. We did so many. You know, when we talked about it, like leading up to whatever fight was coming up, was there always some type of countdown to his fights, and we talked about, oh fuck, how does he ever work? Fuck, this guy's in great shape. But dude, see what happens is years after go by, just like Luke now, just like Mike, you become friends after a while. You lose the whole, you know, you always have that relationship.
The good thing about Jason is that you know where you stand. You know, like I remember one time because I trained with someone else before, and I would kind of run the practice myself, and I would take over. And I'd feel pressure for a fight, so I'd be barking at people. You know the feeling. You know what I mean? You got the pressure coming up, everything's not going your way, so you're snapping at people and you're talking shit and you're being disrespectful. You don't mean to be, but I'm under immense pressure, and I'm dealing with that by being a prick to other people. And there used to be a coach, and I'd fucking tell him, no, we're doing this today, we're doing that. You know. I tried that shit with Jason. He just shut the session down immediately. He's like, what the fuck? Stop. No. This is not how we're going to fucking train. You either do what the fuck I say or get the fuck out. Because I don't need you, Michael. He said, I'm here trying to help you. You know, but if you're going to fucking tell me how we're going to train, you know, then we're wasting our time. Get out. Leave now. And ever since then, I had so much respect and we had a great relationship.
Jason has a way. He's got like a sixth sense of way just to knowing like how a fighter feels, you know, where you're going and how you need to get into that moment and that mindset. It's different, you know, and there's not a lot of coaches can connect with you in that way, shape or form. He's very talented at what he does, obviously in a physical realm, but you know, he is a way of getting into your head, you know, just seeing where you're at mentally as you get to that stage, as you're staging up to a fight. I mean, it's a special thing that you got.
Rampage, you talk a lot about gyms and teams and culture. And Mike, you watch a lot of these fights and you're analyzing them at the highest level and you're talking about fighters every week. How important is it for a fighter to keep the same team or the same culture or the same gym atmosphere? Or do you think it doesn't matter in today's game?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just not possible. You know, sometimes you grow away from people. Sometimes, I mean, loyalty, of course, is very, very important, you know, but if you expect loyalty back. And if they're not dedicated or they're not trying to help, if they're being lazy, you know, like if the coach is showing up and not really giving a fuck, then you've got to do what's right by you. You can't say, oh, I got to be loyal. So fuck that. I'm loyal to myself. I'm loyal to my wife. I'm loyal to my kids. If I'm not getting what I need somewhere, then you can stick that fucking loyalty up your ass. I'll get it somewhere else. You know, I never had that with Jason, of course. What I'm saying is, to answer your question, it all depends on every situation. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to that. It all depends on the individual and what's going on.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's well said. I mean, it's true. I mean, we've even talked about over the years. What you're talking about, you have a relationship with these guys, so you're always talking to them, right? And that's 100% right. I mean, fucking loyal is funny because coaches all think this guy's not loyal, it's not loyal, but how loyal are you to him as well, you motherfucker, especially if you have 50 guys. How the fuck are you loyal to 50 guys? Get out of my fucking face. You know what I mean? Fuck, especially if you're putting real energy into the motherfuckers. You know, I know I swear too much.
No.
Yeah,
It's a man's podcast.
Yeah.
It's a man's podcast.
Me too as well.
Yeah, you say,
I always say, I'm going to swear less. I hear myself back on the podcast. I'm like, oh, God.
You can say what
fine.
the fuck you want on
No,
here.
I know. And I do on mine, but I hear myself back and I'm like, I'm supposed to be on
But look at
ESPN.
Hey, oh,
no
yeah.
wonder they don't give me more work.
You don't swear on there though, huh?
No, never.
But how do you hold
I've
it back?
never once swore on air. We do 7 hours live and we get pretty, there's some shocking knockouts and stuff like that. So far, never sworn once.
I see. I'd be worried about that being
Yeah.
live. I don't trust myself.
7 hours.
No,
Seven-
I
yeah.
think back in the day at Fox, they were worried about that. And I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I know I act the fool and I mess around and shit, but I'm not actually a moron. I'm capable of using other words than saying shit, fuck, and cunt. Okay? So shut the fuck up, you cunt, and get me a coffee.
Mike, did you watch Luke's karate combat fight? His big win?
Joe Schilling.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I was doing a little YouTube live whilst it was on. You did great. Nice knockout.
Thank you.
Very good.
Does it give you any interest in wanting to do karate combat or any sport like that?
No, I spoke to the guy. What's he called? God, President Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was like Jason would like, you could coach, you could run around, like corner Bisping, corner me, just run back and forth, double dip, that's a double paycheck, bro.
I got no knees. I got 2 total knee replacements. I'm recovering from 3 surgeries in the last 2 months in my neck. I've got 1 eye. I need surgery on my wrist. I have my nose rebuilt by my ribs.
He'd still
I've
fight.
been there.
He'd still fight.
Done it. Got the T-shirt. But yeah, you sent me a big enough check. Fuck it.
I guarantee this motherfucker.
I would.
Right now, you would still go fight in like karate
Guess
combat
what?
or something?
I'd
If
still
they're
fight
gonna
you.
pay properly.
Really?
What's your number?
He
Can you
was
say?
willing. Hey, he was
10
willing
mil?
to come in here and fight today. Everybody.
Well, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I'm like,
How many years you been retired now?
retired in 2018. So
okay.
6 years.
Oh wow, yeah.
6 years, yeah. Long time.
But interested in anything like a CGI event, like a super fight, a jiu-jitsu event, or a grappling event?
Honestly, up until about 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I've been in a really, really bad physical way. I had 3 surgeries in my neck and I've been in hell. Like up until 2 weeks ago, I couldn't get out of my bed. I would go and commentate. See, this is what people don't realize because they still see me doing the podcast and I would still commentate. Just to do that was so much effort. I was in so much pain from the moment I woke up to the moment I go to sleep. Went in a disc replacement that didn't give me any kind of relief at all. Then they sliced me up through the back. I had an old fusion that they did here in 2018. That was all come loose, so they had to re-drill that. Pick the spine apart, do all kinds of shit. Then I had a bunch of bone spurs and cysts, and the nerve was compressed. They did a tremendous amount of work, and it was only up until about 2 weeks ago. I didn't work out for 3 months.
I bet you got most of those injuries in training.
Yeah, no, yeah. I know exactly when I did it. I was doing a takedown in Tiki's gym, 2013, and I took the guy down and I landed on my head, and I got the worst whizzer ever. And it just over the years got worse and worse. Wrestling.
Whizzer.
Yeah, it's that stinger. There's a stinger
Yeah,
we were talking about
Stingers.
yesterday.
Yeah. American version.
Yeah. Why is it when
Oh yeah, sorry, Stinger. You're right. I said whizzer.
Yeah, whizzer.
Yeah, I meant.
I understood.
Yeah.
Rampage got it?
I'm
Instantly.
nervous.
Whizzer.
I'm nervous. I'm around so many goats and legends.
Hey,
Is the word goat too loosely used?
I mean, you use it on like amateur.
Use
fighters.
it on someone that is a
see
goat.
that.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not the greatest of all time. I'm a
Yeah,
pretty good fighter. I had a
me
good
neither.
career.
I don't think none of us in this room are goats.
Don't say that. Luke
So,
will-
no-
I'm sorry. I gotta keep it real.
Exactly. And so like
Nowhere near.
But you guys are all legends.
prior
for sure.
to well, thank you very
Yes,
much.
that's a fact.
I accept
you are-
that.
Come on,
accept
you guys
that.
are all legends.
I
Yeah,
accept that.
I
Even
accept
Jason
that.
Parillo. I'm in a room. I'm blessed
So-
to be here. In all honesty,
No,
just so you
thank
know,
you,
I don't
bro.
want to cut you off. We mess around a lot.
Yeah,
But
of course.
In all honesty, it's a dream to be able to do this every day and to sit here with you guys. Rampage knows that.
Yeah.
So,
But it's something that you guys don't know. He probably has a heart on right now.
No, but going back to what we were just saying there, prior to me ever sniffing a belt, people would, because I'm a fighter, they would call you champ.
Yeah.
You know, and that would irk me. That would piss me off. I was like, I'm not a champ. Don't condescend me. Don't say, hey, what's up, champ? What's up, champ? I'm not a champ. You know, all right, Cage Warriors champion. No offense to them. It's like UFC is where it's at. I'm not a champion, so don't call me champ. And it's the same thing when they say, oh, you're a GOAT. It's like, you don't really mean that, so don't say it. Because the greatest of all times are very, very,
Yeah,
it's
but-
a big
I
accomplishment.
think people who have that integrity to understand. No, if you don't want to be called champ, you'd let people know. Don't fucking call me champ. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's
there's
like,
a certain
it's
level
like a
of
little
integrity.
kid. It's like, hey, champ, hey, sport,
What the fuck? Who are you talking to?
slugger. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, what are you doing?
I was like that in the beginning. especially after I lost my belt. But then somebody said, once a champ, always a champ.
Oh, you can call me champ now all day long.
Oh, you talking about before you
I'm
got
talking about before.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm talking about before I was a champ.
random
I'm talking
fighter.
about when I was just like working my way up. I'm like, don't call me champ.
No, but you said you was Cage Warriors.
Yeah, Cage Warriors, Cage Rage,
Yeah.
kickboxing,
But then
whatever.
you was champ then.
Yeah, bro. There's
champ.
only one champ.
That's like being the ABCDEF champ in
Correct.
boxing.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Yeah.
because like, wait, what's the nuts? Just Nick,
Unless-
Nick just won a world title last week.
Yeah,
It was
correct.
A1 champion.
I was a champion of
Fuck
4
yeah,
organizations
yeah,
when I
yeah,
signed
yeah.
with the UFC. I don't mention any of them. I don't even know where the belts are. Unless you don't believe in your own ability, you're going to hang on that forever. You're going to say, I was the champion of fucking XYZ.
Yeah.
You know
But
what I mean?
Strikeforce and Pride count.
Of course.
Strikeforce and
Yeah,
Pride count.
of course,
Those two.
Yeah, of course.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
of
they
course.
do.
It's a major organization.
I mean,
it's a
they-
major,
a major
organization.
organization.
We're talking
Then
about
it
Strikeforce
counts.
came in. Strikeforce
Worldwide.
came in
Yeah.
and
Not
took
a
over.
regional.
Pride and
rinky-dink.
Strikeforce, when Pride they both took over their belts, like multiple champions. I think more than as many champions took over the UFC. Pride champions came in, Strikeforce champions came in, and they took all the belts.
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows you the worth of each division, of each company.
That's crazy. You said you don't know where your first belts are. Like it should have meant something to you at that time.
No, I know. You would think like, so my wife's amazing, she's great, but like a lot of other people's wives, they get the shorts and they get their hand wraps and shit, and they're like in like the frame packs and stuff. Nothing. I don't know where anything is. Do you know what I mean? I've got a bag with all like the shorts and stuff in the garage.
You remember which fight they go to?
Say again.
You remember like which fights they go to?
No, do I hell? I do have all the posters though. You know, when you sign the UFC, they give you the thing of the posters.
Yeah.
I've still got all of them unopened. So each one has a signed by all the fighters. So I've got like 39 of them in the garage somewhere.
Well, I don't even
Don't
know
come
what
and rob my house.
Yeah, I don't know what none of this shit is.
Yeah, I've still got them.
Man, my first belt that I had fucking melted in the back of my car. I used to put it in the back of the car so everybody could see me. I saw like when the police pulled me over, they could see like a belt.
What
My
happened?
Cage Rage belt.
What happened to your belts? The Rampage's UFC belt and Pride belt, and they're so like they've been in
destroyed.
the sun. They've been in the sun.
No,
forever.
those
mine and his belt look like so
I
different.
didn't take care of it nothing, but they didn't give me brand new belts. The only brand new belt. No, I'm telling you.
I think it got died out.
No, the only brand new belt I got was the Pride belt. They had to go. That's why when I won that fight in London,
Yeah.
that was when I beat Dan Henderson. It was for the Pride belt, and they never gave it to. They took them a couple of months to give me the belt, and they gave it to me in privacy at home. And I'm not gonna say who told me this, but it wasn't Dana. And they told me never wear this belt to the fights. You know, you earn this belt, but don't fucking wear it.
They gave you a Pride belt. They give you a Pride belt after Dan beat Dan beat Vanderlei Silva, and then he came back to the UFC and fought you.
When I fought Henderson and I was defending, same thing. I didn't know what to do. I thought, do I bring the belt? Do I have to bring the belt? Do you know what I mean? So
You're supposed to.
I called Dana. I'm like,
I did that.
what do I do, Dana? Do I bring the belt or do I get another one?
Yeah, I think you're supposed to get another one. But
and he went, and he thought about it. He said, fuck it, leave it at home.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I brought mine when I fought Keith Jardine. I was like, the first time, my first ever title defense, and I was like, I started getting in my head. I was like, this motherfucker's trying to take my belt, you know, because that was a real time I actually like thought about it. That was the way it should work. And so I remember I put my belt up and I fucking took it personally.
I don't
I was
remember
like
them,
really pissed off.
Yeah, I don't remember them giving me a new belt. Like I left those. I always had those belts put up because my kids, they don't give a fuck. I didn't.
Mine neither.
Yeah, now I got them on display right by my son's room because my 24 son lived with me and he got to walk past my belts every day to go to his room. So
Reminder.
Yeah, little reminder. And maybe that's why he resents me. I don't know. Fuck. I have no idea why he.
Oh, man.
I have no idea, but I'm trying to like be positive about it. But no, I didn't fuck up. But that Pride belt is the newest one. The other ones, they do look like shit. I saw your belt. Like, why can my belt look? I had them polished once. Because somebody told me, like, man, your belt
Looks like
look
you
like
had
shit.
a pressure wash, dog.
I had
Oh,
the
it's
house
fucked up.
like renovated, and the guys that came, so I took the belts. There's 2 belts. I put them on the bed in like the spare bedroom, so they were out of the way. And then I came back in. And I'm like, where the fuck are the belts gone? And the belts were face down underneath the bed. And when I pulled them out, all like the crumbs and shit on the floor, they're scratched to bits.
I've been mad.
What the fuck are you doing? Why would you put it face down? You know, at least put it back, facing up. You know what I mean?
Carpet.
Disrespect.
The disrespect.
The disrespect.
Mike, what was the toughest training camp you ever had to prepare for?
Oh, I don't know. They were all hard.
I mean, just being a part of a lot of them. Everyone. That's it. I mean, everyone, because Mike doesn't stop training. I mean, he does say he does stay in the bar. I mean, like after maybe a fight.
Yeah.
On the weekends, you'll go parties. I always hear, and we always imagine we partied way more back then than we did, but I'm sure the partying today, or the drinking, I should say, the anesthetizing. But back in the day, even when you drank on the weekends, you were still in the gym week in, week out.
Yeah, but again, I was trying to say this before. When we're saying drinking, I'm talking about having a few drinks at home. I wasn't going out to the club and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I don't know, but I thought I overheard it.
Yeah, no, I did say that. I did say that.
Hey, Jason, what's your best night drinking with Bisping?
Okay, I don't.
No, we don't.
If you remember that night, you fucking didn't have a good night drinking, right?
You got one. You got one.
No.
You got one.
No,
I
it's
see
a
that.
good story, though.
I saw the wheels turning.
Pucker up. I can see Mike pucker up like he's like,
Hey,
just hold it back. I go one. I go.
There's a lot.
Hey.
I mean, there's a lot. Remembering Quebec, Quebec City, that guy you knocked out.
I remember a little bit.
Come on.
Wait, who knocked out?
Jason did.
Jason's a firecracker.
Your head coach knocked out someone?
Can I tell the story?
Jason Bangs.
So yeah, no, we're there. It's like 4 a.m. We've had a fight. We go out. We have some drinks. I'm standing outside. Jason's having a cigarette. This guy walks over, and what was his name?
It was one of your men.
It was one of Paradigm's investors or something.
It was a basketball
player, like a 6'9" black guy.
I know.
Why
Jarvis.
you had
Hey,
Right.
Jarvis.
And he
Jarvis.
I'm not sure. And he walks
It's Jarvis,
over
yeah.
and he says to Jason,
Jarvis.
and I'm not going to say it, but he says, "What are you doing with the N-word?"
He said that to Jason?
He said it to Jason. He goes, "No." He said, "What the fuck are you doing with the N-word?" And Jason says, "What did you say?" He said, "What the fuck are you doing with the?"
What N-word he
What do
said?
you mean? What are you doing? With,
Rampage, don't bait him.
And Parillo
what are
just
you doing
goes,
with the orange?
Didn't even
What
think
are you doing
about
with
it.
the orange? Like
Didn't
what?
say anything. Boom.
Uppercut.
Out
Uppercut.
What
Man,
nigga?
left
Hey,
him
I
there.
got one question.
Left him there in the snow.
A fucking uppercut.
What nigga was you with? No, the basketball player was with him.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, you should see him. He's like, dude, he was more shocked than everybody because it actually, it was,
Hey.
and
he
it
wasn't-
was actually inside because we've been eating at this little sandwich shop for the whole week, and they've been taking good care of us too as well. And dude, in Quebec they got the different. They speak French too out there or something,
Yeah,
right?
French,
Like,
yeah.
So we had a real thick accent.
There's not many black people out there?
I don't think it's. Yeah,
You know what the best part about this story
cool.
is? I know the guy, and he's not a basketballer. He's just a tall black dude.
Basketball.
Yeah.
No, he's actually a guy that's burned him on a couple deals, dude. No,
You might be right. You might be
He
right.
was a basketball player.
I fucking work with the guy.
Did he jump in?
Do? Oh, you do?
No, he did it nature.
He left my management
You
team.
knocked him out.
One punch, out cold.
Was it a big guy? Was it a big guy?
He was an average sized guy.
He was a
Canadian guy.
Bigger than Jason.
Oh yeah, the guy was.
He was jacked. He was fucking gigantic, bro.
Yeah, he was a good.
Covered in scars.
He was like 6'7". 6'7". I had to go over. I had to throw it over him. Yeah.
Wait, was it overhand or a fucking uppercut? When you're punching a 6
But the young man, the tall fella, it's like, look, he goes, "What are you doing, dude?" He's like, "I'm all right, dude. I can handle myself." I know. You know what I mean? But also, I was a little frustrated too because we got fucking laid on for fucking 15 minutes in that
Yeah.
fight. That
Don't-
night. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bear. I'm bearing it out.
Yeah. But yeah, no, a lot of good nights.
A lot of
good nights.
Hey, I got
We've
way
had
much.
good, fun, drinking, happy, fucking.
Let me
fun,
give you
laughing
that. Let me
nights,
give you
too.
that for standing up for the nigga, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. That's love. That's much more respect, man. You know what I'm saying? That's love, right?
He just
Yeah.
started training in the
Now
morning
you like
over
me?
here with
Now you
Parillo.
like me? Now you like
Are you
me?
doing?
No. Don't start that. Don't start. Look,
What's this?
No, this is what happened. Okay. Bear brought Yogi over here to train me. Yogi is a good coach. Is a great coach.
He's phenomenal. He just won a belt
Shut,
with Scrappy.
what, don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. And Bear told me like, hey, I got this guy coming up because my coach, you know, my coach Bobby Rimmer. He
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, from England.
Yeah, he went to Saudi Arabia. He's making history tonight. He got his first guy from Saudi Arabia going pro, his pro debut
wow.
tonight, right? So
Okay.
he's over there working at Mike Tyson's gym. So I don't got a coach now. I don't got a boxing coach. Normally, Bobby would be here. He said, I got a guy for you. I got Yogi. He's going to come over here and train you. And I love training with Yogi. Yogi's a great coach, so I'm training. Oh, yeah, man, he's an awesome boxing coach. Nothing like my own coach, Bobby, but I'm getting to know this new coach and stuff like that, so I'm training with him.
Yeah, because it takes a while.
Yeah, it takes a while. And then later, he was like, Parillo's over here training stuff. I said, yeah, it's good. I've heard great things about Parillo for years. Sorry, before I even met him, great things about him. Yeah. Years. One of the best boxing coaches in Orange County. I heard you was training with a lot of people. And I've always wanted to go and train with. We just never crossed paths.
Sure.
Right, because I always had my own boxing coach. Then now, he's like, oh, you got to train with Parillo. I'm like, bro, you know me. I'm already training with Yogi. Now he think I don't like him.
Oh.
Because of Bear.
This is Bear again.
It's Bear again.
This is Bear again.
He thinks I didn't want to train with him.
No, I'm not. Hey, listen.
That's what you said to me.
But listen,
that's what he said to me.
This is
he was
the way.
Like, fuck Rampage.
Yeah.
This is the way.
He said that to my face the other day.
This is the way I look
He will.
This is the way I look at it too. So when you train somebody, you're definitely going to have a relationship with that person now, right? There's going to be a day-to-day basis, go on for a long period of time, years, maybe even. You're 45.
I'm 46. I'm 46.
I mean, I'm not pushing for a part-time job. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'm not pushing.
I'm not even on anybody's roster.
I'm not pushing for a one and done. You know what I mean? Like, God bless. I'm rooting for you though. and if Yogi doesn't show up and I'm there, hey, come on, Rampage. Let's see what we got. Let's see what you got, bud. Let's see what you got. But God bless. God bless.
I'm rooting for you, though.
I had no doubt. Come on. Fucking Parillo's going to bring that up. I knew he was going to go right away.
I mean,
You know he's going to.
I mean, fuck.
I didn't think he was going to do all that.
Please train with me, Rampage. Please.
Hey. True story. I almost shat myself. We got to end this podcast.
We got to end. Listen.
I got to go. I almost shat myself.
Listen. That is it. Oh my God. I did
shat.
not think you were going to go there, Parillo, but that's amazing.
That's
Listen, I want to end it with this. All joking aside, Luke Rockhold, one of my best friends, one of the best I know at fighting, me personally. Michael Bisping, a complete legend. Don't personally have the relationship with him, but grew up watching you. Honored to sit down here and just.
Thank you.
And the stories I've heard from this guy over the years about you, I got to grow up watching Luke and then train with him in the gym. Not train with him, but train while watching him. So it's a different dynamic, but to be able to sit here and listen to these stories in real time and then to hear from you, hopefully we get to do this again, especially after a fight would be incredible. It's an honor to sit here with you, especially being one of our most requested guests on the Jaxxon Podcast Discord. Rampage,
thank you very much.
Rampage, it's always amazing to have you here. Parillo, though, you might have just become MVP of the show with the nail dropper right here. Incredible, dude. Incredible, Parillo.
Cheers.
I just wanted to say,
I'm gonna go.
Obviously, Luke, good to see you, buddy. You too, man. And Bear was trying to talk shit. And as you said before, when you do share the ring with someone, of course, you always have that level of respect. So good to sit down. Rampage, we go back a long way, and we had some ups and downs over the years. And I wanted to sit down with you for a long time, and I would love to have another conversation. And you know the one I'm talking about, the real conversation that we need to have about certain sons of bitches that fucked the pair of us. But it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you doing well. Bear, thanks for having me. And Jay, as always, you're the man.